How can we hide this
And
knowledge from the world?
live from our houses, not from Wendy's.
Live from
Welcome.
Columbus Wendy's.
You
number
guys
one.
don't look like you're snowed in and trying to survive your lives right now.
I would be. I can't commit to the bit.
I'm the only one bundled up trying to stay safe.
No, I can't commit.
I
You
brought
should
my
look
electric
outside.
heater down, and it's next to me.
Oh. My basement's warm. Like, it's the warmest part of the house.
Usually it's the
Okay.
coldest.
You're not gonna have any electricity.
When my power went out on Sunday, I went down to the basement to spend the night because my furnace wasn't going to kick on.
Right.
After a
How's
brief
that?
stopover on your podcast with our friend.
Yeah, we can't wait for everybody to see John's, 30-second... I don't even know how to explain it. It's
Looking like
just a-
Zordon
I
or
guess
something.
a cameo. Yeah.
Remember when Kevin came in the middle of a podcast?
Yes.
It was like that.
It was just like that.
It sounded like that.
Well, welcome to the Movie Podium, everybody. We're a weekly podcast where we collectively choose a movie to watch, and at the end of the week, we get together and talk about it. It's kind of like a book
But for
club,
movies.
But for movies.
But for movies.
but for movies. We're in our third week of our Disastuary month, and right now, I kind of agree with the tagline from this movie, which is, "A sweater won't do." And without further
That's
ado,
it?
hold on.
Wow. Oh,
Hold on.
that's a stinker.
A sweater won't
a
do?
sweater won't do.
Oh.
No
And what-
tagline at all would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And without further ado, we present our next movie.
Mr. Vice President, if we don't act now, it's going to be too late.
The end is near. It's been quite a chilly month.
But not
Next
until
week-
the day after tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, even then, I think next week we're getting down to 0 here in Cleveland. I don't know about you guys, but not excited about that.
Believe land.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
pronounced
that's,
Believe Land.
I think that's like the low, like Monday and Tuesday. Like that's a high of like 9, 10.
Yeah, that's what we have too.
It was
And like a wind
25
chill.
when I walked out of my house this morning, and I literally was like, this feels warm. This isn't bad.
Yeah. I think it's warm right now. Like I could feel that my sunroom had kind of warmed up. So maybe it's in the 20s right now. I don't know.
Weather, am I right?
Woo,
Woo, yeah.
We're old.
It's
You know
another
that one
Thursday.
route? It's that route we took that one time. Just like the weather.
Is it route or route?
Rail. It's a rail. Oh yeah, route. All right. Well, I'm Matt Scott, your host.
Hi,
I'm here
Matt.
with my dudes, Dave,
Hey, Matt.
Eric,
Hello.
and hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello. Hello.
Nice.
Well, before we get into the episode, we'd like to thank all our Patreon supporters who've been following us since the beginning of our podcast journey.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Alex, Marcus, Ash, and Cephers. You guys are good
The
supporters.
best.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you. Wait, we didn't.
Oh, our
We did not
boys.
roll the intro.
Hit it. Cheers. Let's get a drink.
Cheers.
Statuary, disastrous fury, nature's rage in all its glory.
Oh my God. Is that loud for anybody else?
It was probably a little louder
perfect.
than.
Not nearly
Let,
loud
let it
enough.
be loud.
I was gonna say the louder the better. Come on, that shit jams.
It made Otis stir.
Oh, did
He's
he?
back down. He's back down.
Well, I don't have a lot to talk about on this, so let's get in the random ass facts, shall we? That's the new random ass facts right there. The short and sweet version, baby.
Wow.
Next, we'll get
Well-
the.
Yeah, that's next. Well, this movie somehow was on the same level as Twister and got a 6.5 or a minus 0.5 Thor on IMDb. I like Twister better. What do you guys think?
Overrated.
Yeah, I would say it's rated.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I thought
no, I
Twister
don't-
should be like a 7.
Yeah, Twister should be higher, but I think this one's fine.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Twister underrated.
Yeah.
Just
that's
like
the way
Spice
I
World.
would. Exactly.
This overrated.
You think this one's overrated? Okay.
Yeah. This is rated way too high.
I agree with Dave.
Wow.
This is Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Mortal
You
Kombat
think
Annihilation
it
is fucking kick ass.
Yeah, that's true. All right, what about Dante's Peak or this?
This.
I agree. Yeah.
This-
Okay.
Wait,
good.
which is better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's this.
This.
Dante's Peak.
I think I'm
Hold on.
taking Dante's Peak.
You and Kevin would. I don't know if he's listening yet or watching, but Kevin would pick
cares?
that.
Wherever
too.
he is, he's really wanting to watch Dante's Peak.
Oh my god. All right. So I just wanted to point this out because I know we have some big Independence Day guys in here and might see it a little later. We'll see. Roland Emmerich wrote and directed this film. He also wrote and directed Independence Day, Godzilla, 10,000 BC, in 2012. I think he might kind of be a niche director.
Maybe.
Hey,
Like,
look,
2012 is just a second try at this movie, I feel like.
Yeah,
No,
it
it
is.
totally is.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, hey,
And 10,000 BC.
they were like, we got it wrong before. Let's get it wronger this time.
This is my true vision for a climatic disaster movie.
Well, and 10,000 BC is about the Ice Age, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's
so.
the same
Yeah.
movie again. He
Kevin
probably just kept the
says-
set.
Kevin says Dante's Peak is better than every movie in Disastuary so far. And that's Kevin being Kevin trolling.
Oh my god. No.
Oh, that's Kevin? I didn't hear who said that. You would, Kevin.
Oh man.
Hello, Kevin.
Also, Roland Emmerich directed The Patriot, which seems way out of that realm.
It's like that's
Huh?
that's a some sports metaphor where they throw to the other side of the field.
He
Switching the
punted
field.
that.
Yeah.
I imagine that, like all these other films, The Patriot was historically accurate as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Okay,
I'm pretty
so-
sure Mel Gibson was back then, right?
Yeah,
He was alive back then.
yeah, of course.
He
It was
He
him.
It
Yep.
was him.
time travels too. That's a pretty accurate scientific method. Speaking of science, there are some hilarious scientific facts that we won't get into too much detail because of our main event or our final podium. But I did want to point out that the eye of the storm in this movie is said to freeze people instantly because it's super cold air from high temperature or from high in the atmosphere. But even at extreme temps, air alone can't transfer heat fast enough to instantly freeze people or buildings. Siberia has the record for the coldest temperature at minus 97 degrees, and no one was killed
God.
or
Fahrenheit?
instantly frozen. Yeah, Fahrenheit. Wasn't killed. Nobody froze instantly. Not
Getting out of
doesn't-
their helicopter.
it just
The
believe it or not,
gasoline
doesn't
didn't
happen.
didn't freeze.
Yeah. That's why they fell out of the sky.
Right.
The gasoline froze.
So I'll hold off any more of those kinds for later. Now, this is a pretty random ass fact. It has the biggest the biggest opening weekend gross for a movie that did not reach number 1 at the U.S. box office. So it was
Interesting.
number 2 for some amount of time, apparently.
Took
Or
a big
has the
old number
biggest-
2.
Yeah,
It was the
exactly.
biggest number 2 that year.
But like, that means a lot of people spent money to go see this movie.
Damn
That's
straight
what
they
that
did.
means
I
to me.
mean, I'd like to see what else it was up against.
Yeah, that's solid.
in theaters.
Solid point.
It's like, is this the second option? All right, we've seen A.
Yeah, I'd like to see-
Whatever. What year
I
was
gonna
this?
say, I am
2004.
looking that up.
Yeah, 04.
2004. Yeah, somebody do some research and see what movies that was going up against. While
Only
I
when
have
we
my
do
last
Best of the Year
fact.
podium do I look that up.
Yeah, well, I have my last fact. While you guys are looking that up, there's a obvious Friedrich Nietzsche reference, and I had the point. I couldn't help but point it out. But there's some funniness to that, mainly because in the preface of his work, The Antichrist, it states, "Only the day after tomorrow belongs to me. Some are born posthumously," which is pretty funny because it's referring to the idea that a lot of his ideas won't be thought about until after he's gone. Not like this movie.
Yes.
I
A
think
little.
this movie's been forgotten.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So they didn't stand a chance in 2004. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban,
Oh,
Harry Potter.
the Passion of the Christ,
oh, Jesus.
Roy, the Notebook.
Oh, jeez.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dodgeball was
Okay.
on there, but
There
I
was a
feel.
lot.
I mean, you have to think about commercial. Because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, Machinist is in there, but that's not a big blockbuster.
No, that's not.
Harry Potter, I feel like, would have had to be the top grossing movie that year. Because
For sure.
$1 Million Baby was that year.
Oh, that was a big one.
yeah,
for
that's
the
a good
box office.
movie.
That would be a good box office though with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good year for movies, and somehow it competed with those from a
Big
box office,
number 2.
which is still crazy.
Were
Yeah,
there
it's
any
a
other
big
big
number.
like action movies? I already closed mine.
The
Dodgeball?
Notebook.
Like,
National Treasure.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, that's
I'll
a
bet
good one.
National Treasure was higher.
Kill
actually.
Bill Volume 2.
Oh, I saw that with my
Yeah.
mom in theaters.
rated R puts it in
The Born
res-
Supremacy
you know,
came out that
restricted.
year.
Oh, Born Supreme. Okay, it's a
So
lot of
some
franchises.
good action movies.
Yeah. Okay.
And yet, it performed so well.
Apparently. All right, ready for some questions?
Yo,
Let's do it.
Read it.
First question: favorite thing about the movie?
The thumbs up.
All right, I know Dave's got some strong favorite things here.
No,
Dave,
I've
what
got
do you
some
got?
strong negative things, but the special effects in this movie are pretty good. Like
Yeah.
the weather models, the weather itself, like the water crashing into New York and shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that. Like
it
this
doesn't
It
look
is
corny.
2004.
It,
I was
it,
surprised at the year.
it looked pretty good. Like I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, there's just it's just the insanity of it all. I guess kind of makes it pretty good too. But
Yeah, it's a disaster movie
just,
for sure.
like I don't. Yeah, that's all I really have good to say.
I can't wait. John, what about you?
Yeah, I was grasping at straws my own self. And it's
You'd
like, just
like this
little
one.
bits of the movie. I liked the Japanese guy avoiding his wife and like getting drunk at that street side food cart.
I'm just leaving work.
Yeah. And also Jason, that like junior guy on Dennis Quaid's crew,
Yeah.
trying to hit on Takata, and she's just not having it.
Those are
That's
some,
it.
yeah, I was gonna say those are some straws right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Eric, what do you got?
I don't know what the hell your problem is, everyone. The Eye of the fucking Storm was my favorite part of the
Oh,
movie.
okay.
That is
That's fair.
sick. It froze the fuel in 2 helicopters, crashing them, and then miraculously the one dude survived, but then he got froze to death. How could you not
awesome.
love that?
Prepare for crash landing. It's like their engines just stop and the helicopters fall out of the sky,
Yeah.
but then the guy's not mush and he's able to come out and freeze.
Right? Oh, here we go.
Getting
He
to
thought-
the inaccuracies. We need. Hang on.
Sorry,
I know.
sorry.
I can't wait. Kevin says, I thought this movie came out in the late 90s. This came out when we were juniors in high school.
I mean, the
Could have
early.
sworn. Oh, this came out when we were in elementary school.
No, Kevin, you were just
You're-
too busy watching dodgeball.
Yeah.
You were drunk. No.
That came a little bit later.
Well, it's too early. All right. My favorite thing that is, I do think it's an entertaining movie, at least from like maybe the last 40 minutes or so. I mean, I think the buildup is all over the place, but like once they're bunkered in at the library, it's kind of settles you in for the ride, I guess. Like I'm kind of involved or engaged once
They
they're in the
actually tell a
library.
story.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The first 40 minutes is just literal chaos.
Yeah.
The other thing I do like is that it's like a survival type movie. Like the other two movies that we did are more of, oh, there's tornadoes, they do damage. And Dante's Peak, I
They're
don't
called
even
Twisters.
know. Yeah,
It's a
Twisters.
volcano. It does damage.
Volcano,
does
yeah,
damage.
right. Okay,
They
fair.
wouldn't do as much damage if they put the town on alert.
For
Down
real.
alert.
So I like the survival aspect, the survival mode aspect. Like I like them using books to burn for heat and not going back into the cold and making those kind of life decisions. I thought that was at least, I mean, entertaining.
They break the chairs to make snowshoes.
Yeah.
Out of them.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm
So
all
smart.
for that kind of stuff. The post-apocalyptic vibes, but that's about where it ends. All right. A much more entertaining question we got going. Least favorite thing about the movie.
I'm gonna
That
get
Kelly
mine
fan?
out of the way. I'm gonna get mine out of the
Okay.
way because mine
right.
is the
Is
vice
that Kelly's
president.
hand? Hang on.
What?
Was that Kelly's hand?
No. Huh?
Mine was the vice president. That guy sucks. And he kept being like, "No, you can't do this, can't do that. You're wrong." And then everyone fucking froze to death.
He's definitely the loser of the movie.
Yeah.
He was
Start
the
doing the
villain.
loser. Yeah, I guess he is the villain. It would be funny to do a loser of the movie.
Yeah.
Dave, what about you?
There's a
Where do I
lot
start?
of scientifically inaccurate things going on in this movie.
Name 7.
I'm not gonna give you 7, but I'm gonna give you a top 5.
Nice.
All right, I'm not a scientist. I found this is courtesy of climatesite.org.
Oh.
It's an article that I found on the movie and the inaccuracies behind the storm, the surge, and some other things in the movie. So Jack seems to forget that every climate event is unique. While looking to the past can be useful to understand today's climate system, it does not provide a perfect analog upon which we can base predictions.
Yeah.
Differences in continental arrangement, initial energy balance, and global ice cover, to name a few factors, guarantee that no two
Jeez.
climate changes will develop identically.
Wow.
Solid
Nice.
point.
Number
Unless
2.
it all happens at the same time and then there's a big mega snowstorm that in the eye of the snow-nado you freeze.
All right, so number 2, the eye of a hurricane and presumably of the hurricane-shaped snowstorm has the lowest pressure of anywhere in the storm. This fundamental characteristic indicates that air should be rising in the eye of each
Exactly.
snowstorm, not sinking
Exactly.
down from the torpedo's
kinda meant-
paws.
Right, and that's
Yeah,
kind of what I
when
was
this
talking
cold
about.
air is rushing in to freeze them from below.
Exactly.
All right, number 3, a complete shutdown of North Atlantic deep water formation is extremely unlikely within this century. It's unclear whether an eventual shutdown is even possible, largely because there is less land ice available to melt than there was during the Younger Dryas.
Right. Yeah. As the ice
Makes
melts, the effect will become less and less pronounced because there's less fresh water
Yeah.
to dump
Yeah.
in.
All right, number 4. The NASA scientist Janet Takada is monitoring the storms using satellite data. She notes that temperature is decreasing within the storm at a rate of 10 degrees per second. Whether the measurement is in Fahrenheit or Celsius, that rate of change is implausible. In under a minute,
Yeah,
which
no
is
way.
likely less time than a satellite reading takes, the air will reach
Yeah.
absolute zero, a hypothetical temperature at which all motion stops.
Yep.
All right, and then the last one, number 5. Before the snowstorm begins, extreme weather events from hurricanes to tornadoes to giant hailstones ravage the globe. Thrown in with these disasters is rapid sea level rise. While global warming will raise sea levels, the changes are expected to be extremely gradual. Most recent estimates project a rise of 1 to 2 meters by 2100 and tens
It's
of
not.
meters in the centuries following. In contrast, the day after tomorrow shows the ocean rising by 25 feet in a matter of seconds along the Atlantic coast of North America. This event is not due to a tsunami nor the storm surge of a hurricane. It is assumed to be the result of the Greenland ice sheet melting.
Oh my God.
So
I-
just all like
The entire
while
movie
having
is
all of
a
that
lie.
stuff happening looks really cool and is like a great idea, like a interesting idea for a movie. It just doesn't make any sense.
None of it. And there was something about the current, not like how it stops, right? That too.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not gonna just slam on the brakes
Then
and
just
Yeah,
stop.
it's just
Stop
not gonna
all of a
stop
sudden.
instantly. Like,
yeah,
Right.
an ocean current would take, as you said, decades or centuries to
Yep.
fully stop. It'd be like, oh, it's slowing down. My grandfather told me that. It's what he observed. Now it's slowing down a little more. In my
yeah, that, and
generation.
there's just things like there's something else that I read was like the samples that they're taking like in Antarctica or whatever, like they would
Yeah.
have had the data from like
Mhm.
the movies in
Yeah.
2004. They would have had all of this data from like
Right.
the 60s when they
It
first
doesn't
started
just
going.
come out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed is he almost dies to save these ice cores. It's like, fuck the ice cores. You can drill new ones from right
Yeah.
over there.
Right.
All right, his hands are full, and then he just whips an ice pick out of nowhere and saves himself.
Is that your least favorite thing? Or
Yeah.
do you have anything else? Okay. I gotta no, I gotta tack on to that. Okay, so my least favorite thing is kind of what you just said at the end there. I cannot stand that there's so many times in this movie where they're not wearing gloves, but yet somehow they're able to perform tasks. And I'm like, there's no way in hell you can have the functionality of with your hands being fucking negative 100 degrees. You're not like you might instantly freeze to death or not, but hey, I'm gonna take my hands out and climb up something or hold something, or use
Climb
it to
out the
screw something
window
up,
and then
or climb out the
shimmy
window.
over. Yeah.
That's like the one thing I don't even wear pants when I shovel the snow, but I wear gloves. My hands have to be warm to do something. That drove me nuts. I saw it so many times. Like, bullshit. That's the most inaccurate thing right there.
You're like, I live in Cleveland, Ohio. This is fake.
All I wear are gloves. That's the warmest part. All right, John, what about you?
I mean, Dave really took the best one. I mean, this thing just makes no sense. And I would extend that further into like it makes the plot nonsensical because there's all this just stuff happening at once. It's like, oh, tornado, ice. And it's just people like running away and surviving, and there's like almost no plot. And there's like no point because the end of the movie, they're just like, oh, we learned our lessons as human beings. We really messed up. We need to what's Dennis Quaid say? Learn from our mistakes in this next ice age.
Right.
A better plot twist would have been Mexico not reopening the border after they closed it.
That's when we were watching it. Julia was like, "Yeah, send them back home."
No, Kevin. Is Kevin offended now?
The Force makes sense. All of the snowstorms and
It's
shit
everywhere.
that happen in this movie don't make sense.
Oh, I think we'll get to that in our podium category, but like this is supposed to be based on real life. Star Wars isn't.
Yeah, that's exactly the difference, right? Star Wars is like actual science fiction. This is a movie based on what could be. Eric, what's your least
Let 'em
favorite
know.
thing?
Hold on one sec.
Let them know.
Go to someone else.
Let them know.
That's Zuli.
I think you're the only one left.
Oh, yeah.
Did
My
you go,
my
Matt?
least favorite
Oh,
thing.
Matt did go.
No, I went. The vice president. He's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
guys had much simpler ones. Gloves and the vice president.
I liked no, but you guys are totally right. I mean, this.
Oh, can I add one more? This is just
Yes.
add to the pile of
No, sorry, John. We have to move on.
Only because I've used one of these things, but like the GPS unit that Jason, I think, is using, they're like, where are we? He's like, we should be, I don't know. Somehow he tells them where they are. But what he's looking at on that device is not a map. It's a sky plot of
Oh,
satellites.
yeah. Oh, and
The library's
somehow
supposed to be right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the library, another fun thing. Like, these people are protecting these books like it's the last copy of Nietzsche or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible, that rare Bible, whatever, by the printing press guy, Gutenberg, maybe. But it's like, we can't burn this. Like, okay, there's probably other libraries and other copies of this that we could probably salvage.
Right. All right. Let's go to who won the movie. I think this is easy. Anybody want to give an answer first?
Climate change.
We all did.
Mother Earth.
We all-
wins.
Oh,
Earth.
nice.
That's not my original answer, though.
I mean, really, like, based on, like, the map that they show us after everything is all said and done or whatever, really only
Yeah.
the North got fucked.
Yeah, that's
Northern
right.
Hemisphere.
Right.
Like, it wasn't, like, a full-on global ice age. It was a...
Yeah,
Europe.
that's
Just a
true.
little ice age.
Yeah. Half ice age.
Yeah, that's true.
Halfsies.
There is such a thing, known to geologists, the Little Ice Age, something in between now and whatever the last one was, 10 to 15,000 years ago.
Nerd alert.
Well, I know my casting is correct on this one.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of, I said Jack Hall or Dennis Quaid won the movie. Not only did he predict or call it, he somehow, against all odds, navigated his way to New York without Google Maps and found his kid and
By
rescued
looking at
him.
a sky plot of satellites.
He's walked that distance
Right.
before. I Googled it, and I think it was like 4 or 5 days walk
Wow.
straight from DC to New York.
on non-snowy surfaces.
Yes, on non-snowy
They
surfaces.
did drive for a while. We don't know how far they made it in the truck.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Without being able to see. Does anybody else have a who won the movie?
I have Sam, his son.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for similar reasons. He's, I guess, the only one who's right. I mean, we don't know. They're picking up a bunch of other people from outside at the end of the movie, but he pretty much keeps, his little, group of people alive for them to be saved.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. Dave, did you have anybody else?
Nope, just climate change.
Beautiful.
I like the answer Mother Earth, so that's one I'm going to go with.
Nice. Well, the next category I pretty sure is a dud. Favorite song, moment, or score scene?
That
My answer
fart
is that
sound
song.
was
Who made
so
the
good.
fart sound right before?
Me. Me.
Matt, are you still the only one?
I'm not. I'm just
There's
going to
like-
say
yeah.
I'm punning. Just go for it.
Go ahead,
Culture
John.
Club at the dance
Yeah.
after. The,
That's
Right.
I.
It's
So-
the only one.
That's the only
yeah, it's
song.
the only real song I recognized.
Yeah.
My
I'm punning.
favorite
The
score
soundtrack
moment
sucked.
was the sound in Twister was a moaning camel.
This soundtrack was.
I'll allow it.
Oh my god. Give me the
Oh, wait.
Armageddon soundtrack over
Speaking
this.
of tornadoes, hang on. I had wrote down a note
yeah.
while I was watching the movie. I was like, why are the reporters so happy about LA being destroyed? Like, didn't they seem just like so gleeful about like all the tornadoes and shit happening?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
they got stuff to report on, man. That's good.
They're like, this is a hot story. Oh, I got hit by a billboard.
Also, why aren't they running? There are
Yeah.
literally tornadoes everywhere.
Oh,
And
sorry.
they're just reporting the news.
Going back to Jack's trek up to New York, I loved the quick Wendy's product placement. The Wendy's sign that was buried.
That's our boy,
Yeah.
Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas to represent. Shout out to the beginning of the episode.
On tornadoes, you reminded me there's several shots where there's just all kinds of tornadoes ripping around. And there'll be like palm trees just standing still, not blowing. Like,
Oh my god. All right.
Matt, what was yours?
Oh, I didn't even have one. I'm punning. This movie's
you did
the
not
soundtrack
have one?
sucked. I mean, I'll go with the Karma Chameleon. I mean, whatever. Karma Chameleon.
Oh, I don't
Culture
know.
Club.
It's not that song. I don't know if the title
think-
is Do
It's
Well,
Do
I
You
think at
Really
the
Wanna
end of the-
Hurt Me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. I got my my Culture Club songs.
Yeah.
mixed up.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
same group?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
All right, next category. Favorite line from the movie. Boy, there's a lot of duds on this movie. I'm starting to
Kind of like
realize.
this movie might be a dud.
Right. Kevin, what did you think of this movie? If you're still on here, I'm curious if you liked it.
I think Dante's Peak was really good, and I don't like this movie.
Oh, here comes Casey Jones.
Casey Jones is back in the chat.
Is this the Waterworld podcast? It's like a book club, but for Waterworld. you gotta
have
wait
2
two more
weeks.
weeks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Talk about sea level rise in that one. I think if
Oh, I
you
can't
melted
wait.
all the water on Earth, it's not going to cover. It's going to cover like some inland areas, not the entire surface of the
Hey
planet.
now. Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there. Eric or John, what's your favorite line?
I mean, it's from the scene with Culture Club, but it's Jake Gyllenhaal saying, I won't get it exactly right, but he's like, this place is so vintage. It would almost be cool if it were on purpose.
Oh my. Well, yep, that's about right for this movie.
Yep.
That was
Dave?
a almost good one.
When they pull the scotch out from behind the bookshelf and they're
Yeah.
talking about using it, and he says, "Are you mad? That's a 12-year-old scotch." And then they
Yeah.
proceed to drink some of it.
I did like that scene. I like the guy who toasts to Manchester United, and everyone's
Oh,
like,
of course you did.
everyone's making these like deep toasts, and he's like to Manchester United.
Oh, that's hilarious. I said, you guys, there's a whole section on tax law down here that we could burn.
I remember that one.
Phew.
from the same character, I believe. Sir, I am president of the Electronics Club, the Math Club, and the
Yeah.
Chess Club. Now, if there's a bigger nerd in here, point them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
That was probably the best one of ours.
I mean, the
That
other
got me.
thing, not that I think this is my favorite line, but I feel like we got to mention it, and John kind of touched on it, but it's when Jack says, mankind survived the last age. We're certainly capable of surviving this one. All depends on whether or not we're able to learn from our mistakes. Great, Dennis Quaid. Thanks for that insight.
Classic Jack line.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Yeah, classic Jack. Paul. I love when the vice president does that as like a diss to him.
Well, let's rebuild that renaissance for the disastuary and ask, does this movie get made now?
Didn't we answer this the last episode?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Bring it back. I said definitely. We talked about it last week, like you said. But also global warming talk is all the time. So sure.
Yeah, it's only getting better.
For global warming talk, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not anything anybody wants to talk about whenever we're trying to have fun on a podcast, but yeah, there's a lot of climate shifting shit going on around the world right now.
Oh yeah, to go back to one of my least favorite thing was the fact that it was a little too real in some parts.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit."
The idea of it's real for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And the
Yeah.
Eye of the Storm, the Snow-nado, that's real.
Snow NATO, man, that's a good one.
I think yes, because all right, this guy pretty much already tried again. Don't be confused, but in 2009's 2012, the movie, and it
I'm
said
confused already.
if this should be made again.
No,
If it
no, I
will
was
be
just
made.
kidding. Go ahead.
About yeah. Okay, sorry. I
The
warned
numbers.
you not to be confused, and then I was confused by that. Anyway, it is 5.8 on IMDb and 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like third time's a charm. Can this director, what's his name?
Roland Emmerich.
Roland Emmerich. Really make
On
it.
rolling, baby.
Really send it home this
Roland,
time.
Roland.
Casey Jones' favorite quote. Look out, it's coming right for us. Uncle Jimbo.
It's already
Yep.
here.
Good lord. All right, next category. Most rewatchable scene. I went with what we'd already mentioned, and that was the drinking, the scotch scene. I think that's probably my most rewatchable, probably my favorite scene. I mean, just all in all, just yeah, fuck it, we're going down with the ship. Let's take a shot.
Yeah, it's bitter. I hate how the guy, he's like never gonna see his baby again. That sucks.
Yeah.
But it hurts less because it's such a crazy, bad movie that I wasn't too absorbed in it. Like I wasn't chain sucked, and I'm like, yeah, that sucks. This movie sucks.
It's okay. My most rewatchable scene was the Snow-nado. That's the right answer. The Eye of the Snow-nado. It froze the fuel in the helicopters, and the helicopters fell out of the sky, and then the dude froze to death in seconds. So how could that not be the most rewatchable scene?
Oh my god. Awesome. Did everybody go?
No, I didn't go.
Dave, go ahead.
Funny.
Mine
Oh.
is the combo scene of Sam and company and his dad separately racing to beat the deep freeze, and he just
Oh yeah.
and Jack just tucks his buddy into that that bunker thing or where or
Oh,
the,
yeah.
Fast food
the
restaurant.
kitchen.
Yeah.
And he just
Yeah.
dumps him into there, and fucking they're trying to
Turns on
escape
the
that
oven.
boat. That after they get attacked by wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves were totally necessary.
They didn't freeze to death.
whenever those the zookeepers, they walk into the like where the animals are
Yeah.
kept or whatever, and
Yeah.
he goes,
Yeah.
"Hey, look at this, wolves are gone."
Wonder why they showed us that.
John, what about you?
I already mentioned it, but it's the news reporter getting nailed by the billboard.
That one is awesome. You see it coming from a mile away, and you're like, "Oh fuck!"
Here
Yeah,
it
it's
goes.
like, all this mayhem, I really just needed a good shot of somebody getting smeared like that. Like the rest of it's implied because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, water came over him, but that one was like, ah, yeah, just what I needed.
Instant gratification.
Great disaster moment for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, podium disastuary moments.
Oh, that might be
Oh,
Waterworld.
That might have to be a special category for
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
last
for our
episode.
last disaster.
I can't go back through these movies again.
It's, you only need 3, and they're the 3 that come to your like the top of your head.
You have to watch them all over again. Oh
It's
my
like
god.
You could
You
do
gotta watch Dante's Peak 3 more times, like John.
It's like Mario Odyssey when at the end, spoiler alert, you have to face all the bosses you previously faced.
Yeah.
in
Yes.
sequence.
Some video games like to do that for sure.
I have not beaten that
Mega
yet.
Man,
I stopped after that.
Oh really?
Oh no!
I couldn't beat that. All the bosses. So I
Oh,
was just
damn.
like, this is no fun, and I stopped playing.
It'd be like that. Sometimes.
It's awesome. Next category. Most likely to be the off-screen drunk. That's one of my favorite videos.
Yeah,
Like
that
Kevin-
one with
like
the
Kevin's
ice going
glass.
into the whiskey.
Yeah,
How
that's the
Kevin makes his whiskey, he just fucking hucks the ice. Like,
That's party.
those are the whiskey glasses you got for Christmas one year, right?
Did his
My
brother get
brother-in-law
those?
his
got
brother
me.
got him for.
What about the futon?
Oh, it's Kevin, by the way. He's the off-screen
Oh,
drunk. He's
that's
always
cute.
the off-screen drunk. It's always Kevin.
It's Kevin.
And
He's using those whiskey glasses.
I mean, I just said the guys that were taking shots. Clearly, they were doing it. You
Those
know?
ice cubes.
People, the guy down there at the highlighted comment. That's,
The champion of Dante's Peak.
Oh my god. Yeah, I said the guys that had the shots. I don't know. This one I didn't really. I mean, Jack maybe because nobody listened to him, and he's like, "I told you so," and so he needs to.
He wouldn't
Drink
have
it off.
access to booze, though.
Oh, that's true.
and it would be frozen if he found any.
Yeah. God damn it.
Also true. Anybody else have an answer for this one?
I had nothing.
I had the president. What do you see him
Oh.
like one time? And like, what
Yeah,
the hell
yeah,
is the
often.
president doing in the most dire disaster? He's got to be.
He's the last one to leave. Like that would never happen. Like the president would already be. The roles would be reversed. Like
Yeah.
the president would already be in New Mexico or Mexico City, and the vice president would have been still back at the White House. Like what?
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so
he
who
would have
won the
been held
movie?
up in that bunker in Virginia or West Virginia, wherever it is. And he'd have
West
a nice
Virginia.
stockpile
Greenbrier?
of booze.
Yeah, Greenbrier. Casey Jones said, "Who won the movie? Emmy Rossum, because you know why. Have mercy."
I do know why.
Well, I wonder who I casted her as.
Yourself.
Next category: casting our friends.
Dave. Who are those
Dave.
babies in that?
Yeah.
That's also another great video. John, why don't you go first?
All right, Matt, I have as Sam, Jake Gyllenhaal for his calculus acumen. And I was in pre-calc with you in high school, and you were
You guys pre
like
together?
that with Miss Jenkins.
Oh, for sure.
I heard it, Eric.
What happened?
He said you guys breed together.
We did. We were preing back in high school.
We were preing calculus back in high school.
Yeah, you know, Matt would teach me how to calc, and I'd teach him how to calc, and but I got Eric as the man with the dog, Luther. In a disaster situation, I could see him and Otis just in it together.
There's
Yeah.
always a dog.
There's
You gotta
always-
listen to the
one.
dogs,
Each
too.
of these disaster movies, we've had like,
There's always
gotta
been a
save
dog.
the dog.
Hmm
I mean, it's right.
I love
I
when he
imagine.
steals the pack of hot dogs for him and the dog to have later.
Oh yeah.
Dave, I have as Jack Hall because I got so hyped up on you doing Pierce Brosnan. I want you to be the doomsayer of this film. And furthermore, I would love to retitle it as Dave After Tomorrow. What else? Kelv, I have as Laura, aka Emmy Rossum, because he throws himself full on into everything, just like she did with Quiz Bowl or whatever it is that
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
Do you think
Quiz
Kevin
Bowl.
would get that far with the quiz bowl?
The Quiz
Uh,
Bowl.
He'd definitely tear his leg open and get sick and not tell anyone.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
true.
exactly what he would do. Dang, I like that answer.
And then
Fine.
just one day, like nothing happened, and just one day he doesn't wake up. He's like he's still breathing, but he doesn't wake up. That was
tell
another
anybody.
least favorite thing of mine. Like that whole storyline was so disconnected, and they had to restate the fact that she got a cut
Right.
to to let us know. Oh, that's why she's sick.
Yeah. That's
Oops,
pretty
sorry,
rough.
we just threw a whole lot of shit at you. Let us re-explain.
Let's recap.
Pretty rough. Is that all, John?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I have John as the guy in England watching soccer.
Of course. Of course.
I have Eric as Brian because I feel like Eric could disassemble a radio and then make it work again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Kevin as Jack Hall because all that dude does is work. And then I also have Matt as Sam Hall because brain.
Yeah.
Because smart.
That's hilarious. Eric?
Yeah, I'll go. My first one was Matt as Sam because he can do math in his head and he doesn't need to write it out on paper
That's 3 for 3.
because he's a calculator.
I didn't put me as Sam, but go ahead.
Okay, let's see. I said I'm Brian. Same thing with Dave.
Yeah.
I'd be the one trying to make electronics work. Frank, the dude, the old dude that's just like looking after everyone. Like, I just need to make sure you're okay. That's Kevin, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I also said the dude watching soccer is John, but I also think that the one of the other guys is Dave because I can just see them like hanging out watching soccer, having shots.
Yeah.
Watching some monitors beep and whistle at us.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
so he's the guy that soccer
They're-
dude had to wake up.
They're sitting there listening to that one thing beep for like minutes in the
Yeah.
movie before they
So
finally recognized it,
miserable.
and I totally could see like John and I just stoned in there.
Yeah.
Beeping is going on, and then finally
Oh,
one of
shit.
us is like, what is that?
Whoa, what's that beeping sound? How long has that been going on?
We're just hanging out here in our
Oh.
research station.
Hey, something's going on with one of these buoys.
Yeah, one of the buoys is malfunctioning. I'm watching soccer.
Oh,
Someone
man.
needs to get out in there and
That's
check
good.
that buoy.
That's pretty good. I said John was Jack Hall.
Down.
John was Jack Hall because he's our resident meteorologist in here.
Yeah, that was my
or
backup
meteor,
casting.
whatever he called himself.
My
the
dad's a
meteorologist.
climatologist. He works for the government.
Yeah, that's our boy John. Works for the government. Likes weather. I said
Loves
Emmy
weather.
Rossum is Dave because hot. I had Sam as Eric actually, because he's gonna be the one that listens and stays back and doesn't go anywhere, like hunkers down and listens to somebody when they say stay there. And I'm the cop that says, "Hey, let's get the hell out of here," because I couldn't just sit there and wait. So I'd have to go get it and get out of here and not be patient. And that's all I had.
Yeah,
So
that was good.
Yep, good
Good
job,
job,
guys.
everyone.
Nice casting.
All right, we got 2 left. First, is this a podium role for any of the top billed cast members? So there's only really 3 main, so we'll pretty much just talk about them. First, we got Dennis Quaid. I said no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Now,
Maybe yes.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe
he's never
yes.
been up for an Oscar. I said no, but he's never been up for an Oscar. He's not actually he's not in a ton of movies that are huge blockbusters. He's not an award-winning actor, so I mean, maybe you can make an argument for this. I
What's the
wonder
fir-
what his highest grossing movie is.
What's the first movie you think of when you see Dennis Quaid?
I think of The Rookie, but because we're younger.
I think of The Parent Trap.
And that's I have The Rookie, I have The Parent Trap, and then I also have Breaking Away, which is a movie from the late 70s, and he and a couple other college guys are big bicycle racers or bike racers.
While I was thinking about this question, I had a question.
Hmm.
Their podium roles, do they all have to be in movies where they were top billed? Because I haven't been thinking about that.
No, if they're in a big enough role to where they're one of the top billed, they don't have to be the main character. In some movies, I mean, if you're a supporting actress in a movie and it's still your best movie, you know, because not everybody is a main role person in a good movie, but then they can be in these kind of movies and be the main role. So I would say it doesn't have to be. So for that, those are mine: Breaking Away, Parent Trap, and The Rookie. I mean, for him, there really isn't a big number one, which is kind of weird. I think of him as like a huge actor, but
Yeah.
there's not a no-brainer there.
Yeah.
I'm still
he's
sticking by
done
my
a lot of
answer.
stuff. Nothing seems to be really outstanding.
No, yeah, maybe a top 5. Yeah, I like Dave's answer.
Looks
no,
like,
but
did
maybe.
he do
Maybe,
a movie
yes.
about Kurt Warner?
I don't know. He was the quarterback in Any Given Sunday, and that
Yeah,
was
I
almost
saw
on the
that
list.
too.
I almost put that on there, but he's not a main character. Like, well, he is, but I don't know. I
Okay,
went
yeah,
with The
he plays
Rookie
Dick
instead.
Vermeil in the movie about Kurt Warner.
Oh, okay, that's right. All right, next we have Jake Gyllenhaal, who I didn't realize how much I like, and at least from, like the movies that he's in. So I
Do
said,
you like
no
him
way.
more or less than
Tobey
God, why
Maguire.
am I blanking on his name? What?
Tobey Maguire.
No.
Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage, thank you.
Oh, of course not. For him, he has been nominated for an Oscar for his role in Brokeback Mountain. He also got robbed for his roles in Prisoners, Nightcrawler, Zodiac. I kind of forgot how many good roles he's been in.
Wasn't he in October Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
was a
one
good
gets forgotten about, or that one doesn't get, I feel like doesn't get talked about as much, but he's amazing in that. That movie rules.
Yeah.
I went with Donnie Darko because growing up, that was one of my favorite movies, and we watched that movie a million times. I also said Prisoners. which I haven't watched since I've had kids, but it's about kidnapping kids, so that might be scary for me now.
Yeah.
But I put that on there. And then I think the third one has to be Brokeback Mountain, just from a pop culture standpoint. And
Yeah.
If you
from
say
a
it one
lore
more time, you
standpoint.
got to watch it next week. That's what Andy Jones said.
Oh, no.
You
Oh,
say
here
it
we
three.
go.
You say it 3 times.
I'm
you
not
have
saying
to
it
watch
again.
Beetlejuice.
Found 3 times.
Beetlejuice.
No. Anybody else want to talk about him? Because he's got so many good ones.
Nightcrawler. I
Nightcrawler's
don't know
awesome.
if that's on his podium, but he's. This movie's so bad. This can't be on his podium.
Yeah,
No.
it's not.
He does good work.
No.
It's-
He's awesome in Southpaw. I wonder what Cody's thoughts are on that one. That one,
yeah.
he's awesome in that.
Is that where Christian Bale's his brother? No, that's
the fighter with
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg as the
Okay.
main boxer. No, Southpaw is like it's a boxing movie, but it's like a more extreme. Like he's insane, kind of, from a boxing standpoint.
Oh yeah, he was the bad guy in that new Spider-Man movie, or one of the new Spider-Man movies.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man
that's right.
movies.
Spider-Man, yeah, that's right.
Spider-Man.
And another one that I didn't talk about was Source Code, which is a time travel movie that I really liked. That was a good
Nice.
one that kind of came under the radar. So yeah, he has a ton of good ones. And then last is Emmy Rossum. Emmy Rossum. Have mercy. Now she's obviously most well known for her role in Shameless. She's so good in that. She's awesome. And movie-wise, though, since this is a movie podium, she's really good in Mystic River. She's also Christine in The Phantom of the Opera. And then, sadly, this is probably her other podium role.
She's just got to get into one more movie, and then this will be off the list.
Yeah, it's weird because all those 3 that I mentioned all came out within the same year. And then she kind of did some music videos because she's also, I mean, as she displayed in Phantom of the Opera, she can sing. So she did some music videos, and then somehow Shameless found her, and then she's been a part of that. So she didn't make as many movies, but it kind of looked like she was going to have a bigger movie career, and then Shameless took off.
Yeah, she was what made me think of like, again, because this movie, Day After Tomorrow, real bad. I'm like, this can't be on the podium.
No,
And
yeah,
so there's some
sadly.
stuff like Mystic River, she must be in for a hot minute, that has to be better than this.
Oh, Mystic River is great.
And she's in Poseidon, which I haven't seen in a long time, but I used to watch the
yeah.
Poseidon Adventure, which it's based on.
Yeah.
Don't know
No,
how
this
much
is
of
better
it
than that.
he's in, but this movie's just so bad. I hope she's in a better
No,
one.
this is better. This is better than Poseidon, for sure. Sadly. All right, last category. Let's see what Cody or Casey Jones and Kevin think of this one, or what their answers are. We end our podcast with, does the movie... Oh, wow, I said movie podium. Oh, does this movie podium as one of the most scientifically inaccurate movies of all time?
Of the last 30 years.
Of the last 30 years, sorry. Yeah, here we go. Jake Gyllenhaal podium. Prisoners, Brokeback Mountains.
He said it.
Oh, no!
He got you to say it.
No! No.
He
I
tricked
don't-
you.
No.
You
Got him.
tricked.
That was
Nightcrawler.
easy. Oh my
That was
gosh.
too easy. Dang it. Somebody else should have read that. And Southpaw, honorable mention. Yeah, Southpaw rules. Oh, man. John, what are your 3 most scientifically inaccurate movies of the last 30 years?
Did you call on me? Okay. I didn't quite hear.
Sorry, I wasn't
John.
listening.
He sure did.
So number 3. First of all, yes, this is on my podium.
Okay.
Number 3, I have Lucy with Scarlett Johansson, where
Yep.
she has some bag of drugs break in her stomach, and it gives her superpowers, and she, I guess, transcends time and space as a result. I saw it, and boy, is it bad. And it apparently makes oh god, it's such a. What really makes it bad for me is like this effect on her that the drugs have is that she's like emotionless. So it's
Yeah.
just Scarlett Johansson sleepwalking through a movie and having action sequences where she beats people up.
That sounds awesome.
Number 2, I have this movie, Day After Tomorrow. And it was,
Wow.
man, I want to see 2012 now just to see what in the world this
John Cusack's in
director
that.
does with
Yeah.
his second bite at the apple. But, like, I was overwhelmed with inaccuracies right from the beginning where I'm just like, oh god, this movie's just this guy knows nothing. He's never been in a science class. Number 1, something we've done on the podcast before.
Oh yeah.
Armageddon.
Yes. I have a feeling it might make some of ours here.
Yeah. Why, John?
I mean, for one, how do they blow up this meteor so precisely that it splits perfectly into 2, but not just a whole bunch of smaller meteorites that still crash into Earth?
Because they're the best goddamn drillers ever.
It's the depth. They got the right depth.
Yeah, they got to get down to that depth.
That's all it took. It was a Hail Mary, let's be honest.
Harry. All right. Nice. Very well done. Dave.
All right. Outside looking in,
Oh,
we got Independence Day and Armageddon.
nice. What? Those are real.
Outside.
How is Independence Day not real?
All right. My number 3 is The Matrix.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah?
I mean, the movie's badass,
Yeah.
but again, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well,
Once
yeah, you
can't
take a
just-
pill and you just go somewhere else.
You
Well,
can't
that
just
and,
wake
like,
up and say, I know Kung Fu.
The body, like, no matter how many bodies they had, the human body in a rest state doesn't produce enough energy to power anything.
They just
So-
need more bodies.
So yeah, The Matrix is my number
Nice.
3. Number 2 is Interstellar.
Oh,
Okay.
whoa.
Inaccurate.
Bogey has some words to
It's
say to you.
Interesting.
I mean, it's inaccurate. I mean, I can't pinpoint. I can't like go in and pinpoint anything, but it was on lists that I found.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going
mean-
my lists. Damn it, they're not my lists. This is
In
my
that
Casey-
list.
movie, I
Casey
do
Jones-
feel kind of like a
Oh, go
little
ahead.
bit of a sort of quandary where, like, I forget what gets just sent through the black hole, but it's like, yeah, it'll make it back through the black hole.
I guess
Yeah.
just the technology involved is not scientifically accurate yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
how
yeah.
far in the future is it? I can't remember.
Not very.
Or is it very far in the future? Like
I don't think it's that far.
I guess
No.
that's the inaccuracy of it. Like
Oh yeah.
I love the move. Like that's what I was taking from this, were like just movies that I liked, but like weren't
Pretty
totally
ridiculous.
accurate in what
Yeah.
they are. Like, and that's
Yeah.
why number 1 for me is Prometheus. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it's a science fiction movie. I get that, but like there's
Oh yeah.
scientific inaccuracies in it.
Sure.
One
Quite a
funny
few.
one about Prometheus that I saw while I was looking this up is that the scientists are on this alien planet and they start touching and licking some substance. It's
seems
like,
like a
yeah,
good
those
idea.
are scientists, all right.
Casey Jones asks you, Dave, how many black holes have you seen? Boy, that seems like an open-ended question. Quite a few at the movie podium.
He also
Eric?
disagrees with Armageddon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I went a little different. So the answer is no.
Okay.
Outside looking in, I had Armageddon and Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. Shout out, baby.
Shout out.
That's Kevin's cue.
Yep. So Let's do number 3 is Junior, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
Where
Damn.
Arnold Schwarzenegger gets pregnant.
Man, I like.
That's a
I
good
have
one.
I have a good one in my head now.
Damn it, man. Eric did this. Eric did this right.
Yeah.
That's
I might have.
good.
I
That's
think I might have blew my juice too soon. Number 2 is Deep Blue Sea, where the sharks start to eat the people and hunt for the people and swim backwards because apparently they can't do that. The one turned on the oven as well, and that doesn't seem real.
Oh
And
my
then-
God.
Number 1 is a movie called Face Off,
Oh,
where
yes.
Nicolas Cage and John Travolta change faces and voices,
I did this so wrong.
and they have
Oh
to
man.
they have to be each other without the other one knowing.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my
Nice.
list.
Well done, Eric.
Thanks.
Good list.
So that kind of reminded that did give me an idea for an outside looking in. I just want to talk about it now or just bring it up. Jack. The movie Jack would be a good one. With Robin Williams. It's not on my list. But that Junior made me think, what other ridiculous plot lines are there? Jack came to mind.
They're like, all right, just don't think about it. This guy ages 4 times as fast.
Yeah, Junior came to my mind like immediately, and I
That's
don't know
awesome.
why.
So I said no, probably outside looking in. So all 3 of my movies have been mentioned actually, which is kind of funny. My number 3 is Lucy. I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I mean, it's whatever, but her transporting drugs in her stomach, John had already talked about. But now all of a sudden that she has Superman abilities and can use 100% of her brain. For one, the 10% of your brain is a complete myth. 2, just because she has higher brain capacity does not mean that she can all of a sudden travel, shapeshift, have telekinesis, manipulate her cells, and matter control. She can't do
Oh,
that.
and
You don't know that.
Doesn't feel any pain for some reason.
Yeah, no pain. Yeah.
That could be another compound in the drugs.
Yeah, right. Yes, Jack definitely is a low-key Disney masterpiece. Robin Williams, R.I.P.
Yeah, anything Robin Williams does is.
So good.
In
All right,
my,
I got a little. Oh yeah,
circle.
Age of Adeline. Oh yeah, Benjamin Button would be pretty unrealistic.
Yeah.
Scientifically.
I've never
speaking.
heard of Age of Adeline.
Yeah, it's all right. My number 2, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant, but Eric, my number 2 is Face Off.
Why?
First of all, the entire premise is switching faces like it's cut and paste. No scarring, swelling, skin rejection, nerve realignment. Something like this takes months, not one montage.
no, not
along
in that
with
movie.
this,
And
we
they had to
magic-
keep the other guy alive.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. Well, not only that, but magically we get the faces to mold onto the bone structure of each of these that are clearly not aligned with each other. Insane. Also, yeah, they use a voice modulator in their throat, like your vocal cords are the only reason
Yeah.
why you sound the way you do.
We're just gonna install
That's
some
completely
hardware in
inaccurate.
there.
So it's a badass movie. But imagine sitting in a meeting room and they're like, "Should we send someone undercover?" No, that's too easy. Oh, what about bug his hideout? No, that's too boring. How about we swap faces? Yeah, that seems like the right scientific
That person got a raise.
move. Right.
I feel like they have different bodies too.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like, man,
Right,
they
exactly.
really
I
pull it out.
mean, yeah, exactly. And not to mention, why is your personality completely different? My number 1 is Armageddon. Duh. I mean,
How?
there was yeah. Well, There was a study that for that hydrogen bomb to work, it would have to be around 1 billion times stronger than the biggest bomb ever detonated on Earth. Also, it's impossible that we would not know that an asteroid the size of Texas was going to hit Earth in less than 20 days. Oh, wait, there's something in the sky.
It's coming right for us.
And then obviously the whole
It's
oil
here.
dudes being
It's
the
already
oil
here.
dudes being trained to be astronauts is hilarious. I don't know if that's science, but that's just common sense. That's not an easy thing. I mean, it's so insane, but it's also so good. Again, Cody, we are not knocking these movies because Prometheus is probably scientifically inaccurate, but it's still a good movie. Actually, most of these movies that we mentioned happen to be ones that we like, which is funny. Like this one, I feel like could have been on there, but I didn't like it enough to put it on there. Other than Lucy, I did not like Lucy. I will say that. Lucy
Oh
was-
yeah, I went purely
Kinda
on
lame.
like what's bullshit. I don't really.
Yeah.
I mean Armageddon, I like, and then the rest. I mean this and Lucy. Nah.
No. Lucy was not for me either. I just couldn't get into it. All right.
Oh, Cody mentioned something about it being similar to Limitless. I don't know. If
Oh,
anyone's-
yeah. It is kind of like Limitless, where I think he takes a pill, right? And it allows his brain to have more capacity. Or he's allowed
yeah,
to
it's
use,
like
or able to use
he
more
becomes
of his brain.
super smart or something.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like super
That's called-
Adderall. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's called Adderall in college. Casey Jones didn't know we tuned into the anti-Armageddon podcast. Dottie is a vicious, like sucking bitch from where there is no escape. I forgot about Dottie. It's coming right
Forget
for
about
you.
Dottie.
It's already here.
All right, next week we are having a poll between Contagion and Outbreak. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yep.
Oh, goody.
That is correct.
Outbreak's
I have
gonna
a-
win that.
I was gonna
I hope
say I have
so.
a feeling one's gonna crush the other. Yeah. So be on the
I haven't
lookout
seen
for
Contagion, but
that. It's pretty
I
much
watched it with
COVID
you,
before
Matt.
COVID.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
tight. I
Well,
don't
I
want to
watched
watch that.
it right after COVID, and we are like, huh,
Yeah.
this is kind of bizarrely prophetic.
Yeah, it was very prophetic, very odd.
I
So
might
be on the
regret
lookout for that.
my decision to put those two up against each other.
No, I think we know which one will win, but you never know. YouTube has its own way.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, some of our the one that I
Spoiler alert.
stole from you, Matt, when I did your puzzle. We
Oh,
had,
yeah.
different platforms had different winners, but
Yeah.
aggregated.
Exactly. Yep. So be on the lookout for that vote. We'll be doing that next Thursday, as always, here live at the movie podium, 9:00. Be there, be fools, and or listening. I guess listen to us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. So
Yeah.
check us out, and then after that, we get Waterworld, baby, to end our disastuary. Eric, you want to close us out with some disastuary music?
Yeah. Thank you for hanging out. Here
Yeah.
it comes.
Bye, everybody.
Dankeschön.
Disastuary, disastrous fury.